I've never seen a black man buy black children ice cream. I've never seen nothing like that in my life.
It's cerebral. Oh, yeah. Your mind is regal. A connection so divine, it's unbelievable. Like a talk show for the soul. For the soul, baby. Letting all our deepest thoughts just flow. Just flow.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Look, you know that I was going to talk about this. I'm a little bit late talking about it. This is Cam Newton, and look at him above me. You know, this is him when he was cute, clean cut, seemed to be all American. He had that image sort of like O.J. Simpson before what happened of being this all American guy, you know, and he's turned out, in my opinion, to be a disappointment, just like Nick Cannon. He has these kids by multiple women and he refuses to marry them. And now he said something that has pissed so many women off, especially black women. He says that a woman's value goes down, decreases the more children that she has. Now, he has 9 children by 3 different women who he didn't marry. So this speaks volumes. What does he think about the women he had kids with? Why didn't he marry them if he felt like a woman's value decreases with the more kids that she has? Okay. Now, look, I'm going to play the video clip real quick, and I do have my notes real quick, but I have to say that I'm disgusted with him. You know, a lot of black men out here like him, I'm not saying all of them, but a significant amount of them, a high amount, they don't know what love is. They don't know how to give love. They don't know what love looks like. And they show that there's no honor in really having their kids. He's basically saying his kids don't even really have value. You know, I'm not saying that there are other groups of men who are not trifling. I've seen a rise of them since Andrew Tate, a lot of them saying stuff, but I see a lot of black men talking like this. Don't be a stepfather to a woman's children and all this other stuff, and oh, you don't have any value, but yet so many of them have children. I feel like, who the hell are you to say anything if you have children? If anything, black men with kids and black women with kids should be dating each other. But yet they're always targeting a lot of us who do not have children. And now he has the audacity to say, well, the more kids you have, the more you don't have value. Baby, let me just play this real quick, and well, I definitely want to hear your opinion. And I have to say one more thing before I show the clip. Now let me just be quiet. Let me be quiet. Let's check this out.
Let's just be honest. If we're talking about hierarchy, you've been with your husband how many years?
Not that many. We knew.
It's new as well.
We went friend to fiance. Let's say 6 months.
Okay, cool. 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if you had a 3-year-old? You still gonna choose your fiance over your 3-year-old?
Is it his baby?
It don't matter who it is.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. You're right. I'm not choosing a fiance. I'm choosing my husband.
Because this is what I want you to understand.
Yes.
You've been married for 6 months,
mm-hmm.
right? That child has been in your life for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years and 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
The hierarchy there is like, yo, it's my responsibility to nurture this.
I got to ask you a question, because for me, that's really hard for me to even wrap my mind around, because I won't be baby mamaed without a commitment of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to wrap my mind around having a 3-year-old and then having a new man. Now, I know that happens every single day and there is no right or wrong way, but so this is my question. Do you feel like women's value gets lowered when they have multiple children by multiple men?
I just think that the reality of that answer is women's value get lowered the more children that they have.
Break that down.
Because, and I was having this conversation, you know, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever you had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids. I want you. Well, that ain't how it worked. But that's not to say that she can't find nobody.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she has somebody.
Right. But do you feel like it's as the best that she could possibly do if she didn't have children?
Well, you're talking to a dude that was once in her life. I don't feel like she's going to get better than me. That's just my confidence.
I don't even think it's confidence. I have said, and I might get eaten alive, I don't think most women do better than the father of their children. No, I really don't think
like
that.
It's real love.
That's the barometer.
Okay, so look, I have my notes written down because I did not want to forget what I have to say. I feel 50-50 on what he's saying. Let me explain. There were multiple things he said. Some was true and some was not true. Let's first start off with the no value. Now, when she asked the question, if a woman has multiple kids by different men, the truth is that that's disgusting to a lot of people. Now, I always said if it's like 4 kids and more and they all have different fathers, some people would even say 3, a man is going to look at that because it's just in human nature. You would look at that like, why do your kids all have different bloodlines? You went from man to man and popped out kids. A man with sense is going to look at that and think, is this a responsible woman? What kind of woman are you that you birthed out kids by different men? The bloodlines and all that other stuff. But he's not saying that, okay? And let me be clear. Every woman's situation is different. Some women, they get a divorce. They get a new husband. Or they break up with their man, get a new man. Or they pass away, the husband, and then you get someone else. And things like that happens. And that doesn't mean she's not a good mother to all of her children or doesn't love her children. But it's never been a good look. It's always disgusted me. The high amount of Black women who have like 4 kids at least, all by different men. It's like you look at that and it's not something most people and most nations around the world and cultures, that's like a disgrace, to be honest with you. And it makes me sick because there are so many who claim to be Christian women, yet all your kids got different fathers and you didn't even get married to any of them. You can get mad if you want to, but it looks horrible. It looks horrible. And I'm not saying this is the case for all Black women. It's not. But there is a significant amount who operate like this. And you're not doing yourself any favors or your kids doing stuff like this. But there's a lot of hypocrisy in the so-called community. One minute the men say that a woman's purpose is to have children. Then I don't agree with that, with what I see on the news every day with women murking their kids and stuff and all types of craziness. Not every woman is a good mother or should have even had children. But a lot of men love to say that, oh, your purpose is to be a mother. That's your honor. That's your glory. But then you have him saying, oh, well, the more kids you have by me, you don't have any value anymore. Who talks like this? Who talks like this? And a lot of Black American men have been some of the most anti-family, anti-love, nurture, and care men that I have seen, just trifling, a number of them. And is it a coincidence that a lot of the music they consume, toxic hip hop, is all about being rough and tough, effing women, she ain't nothing, she a 304, a thought, multiple baby mamas, and it's the number one music in America for over 20 something years. And have you not noticed how the relationships between men and women, how toxic a lot of these men have gotten? If anyone can't see the correlation between this and hip hop music, I think you need to look a little bit closer. And this is a Black American men's culture. A lot of the men they look up to are disgusting men. A number of them. Besides, if the father is there in the home, their peers, their friends, what they consume. And Black American dating marriage culture is disgusting and shameful at large. Okay, we can talk about the civil rights and what we did and was so great. Yeah, but our relationship and marriage culture is embarrassing and almost beyond repair. And the women hold the key to changing that. Some bloodlines got to be cut off and legacies can't be made with some of them. Time to walk away, go to another culture with the high amount of what we're seeing. Okay, I'm not saying every Black woman will, But a lot of these dudes do not deserve to have kids because they don't find any value in you giving up half your life. One foot is in the grave when you are giving birth, breastfeeding his children, giving him children, a son, and you don't have any value. Is he saying his mother has no value? He said that his baby mama can't get better than him. If you thought she was a good woman and you were the pinnacle of what she could get, why didn't you marry her? You haven't married any of these women, Cam Newton, that you have impregnated. So you're saying their value keeps decreasing, but I'm going to keep on pumping them up and giving them these babies, okay? Okay? I'm not saying he might not treat them nice, and these women are with him knowing he has multiple kids by other women. He might be financially taking care of them, but he's saying, yeah, I'm putting kids in you. And the more I keep doing it, the less value that you honestly have. Now, I feel like in dating, if a man doesn't have children, yeah, they're going to look at women having kids. Some of them don't want to date women with kids. That's understandable if he doesn't have kids, okay? And he wants to start his own family and stuff. There are some men who don't mind being a stepfather and being there for the kids. But there's also a lot of men who are talking about women with kids. Who are you? You have children. How would you feel if women like me who don't have kids says, I'm not dating you. Why should I be a stepmother to your children? You don't have no value. You got these kids all over the place. Even if they're with the same woman, you ain't married that woman. I don't feel like sharing you financially with them kids and your baby mama on child support and all this other stuff. I don't want to deal with that and your drama and all this other stuff. If women started talking like that who don't have kids against these dudes, what would they say? They don't like it when you do that. They expect you to take on being a stepmama and dealing with him having different kids all over the place. But if flip it around, he's saying, oh, you don't have no value now. He's saying basically you don't have no value. It doesn't matter. Nope. It don't matter if she didn't have kids by different men. You had my kids, period. And you don't have no value. See, when he was with his baby mama, I had did a video about them years ago, and I had said and predicted, I hate to be right on it, but I predicted it. I said he's not going to marry her. They're playing house, and he's not going to marry her. And what happened? He didn't marry her, and she later came out saying that I thought he would marry me and I was having his kids. And something tells me he still has feelings for her, but it didn't work out. She left, and he went on to the next women, and they had his kids, and he didn't marry them. Okay? So it's disgusting to me. And the woman who says that she's not going to be a baby mama, you know how many black women say that and they're baby mamas? Baby, once you are having sex with him, you are always at risk of being a baby mama, even if you use condoms, okay? In some cases, birth control, there have been some instances where it didn't work all the time. But I find the hypocrisy to be amazing because one minute, oh, you're supposed to have my kids, then you don't have kids, what's wrong with you? Or, oh, well, y'all are ruining the community having all of our kids. And then, oh, well, why y'all have abort, you know what? Oh, you need to be married. Oh, she's over 28, can't do it. They're not even looking to get married at the age in their 20s like other races of men. They don't. They have y'all going all over the place, running around in confusion and hypocrisy constantly. Okay? My thing is that a number of black women, if y'all actually meet them with the same energy, the men who think like him, it would be over. If you said, no, you ain't got no value. You ain't got no value, baby. You got kids with different women, or you ain't got no job. You didn't get no education. All this other stuff. I ain't dealing with you. They don't want y'all to value yourselves, okay? If you put your foot down and says, I'm not popping out your kids no more. I'm not doing it anymore, okay? I'm not. Nope. Since I don't have value for having your sons, okay, and your daughters, I don't have value for giving you legacy. I don't have value for all of what I went through to give birth, and I'm a mother to the kids. I don't have value? Are you serious? Are you serious? Now, I'm not ignorant. I understand parts of what he's saying when it comes to dating. Men are looking at women. They don't all want to deal with women who have kids. Okay? But I just find it to be hypocritical when they have children. It's like, you have kids just like she does. And I do agree with him when he said the man has to love you if he's going to deal with you. I have seen this where if you're not going to accept that woman's children and understand that you are also a part of their life and their second daddy, then you shouldn't be together. I would never be with a man who treats me well and like a human and loving, but you treat my kids like some orphan type of things. Like, that's just disgusting to me. And I've seen a lot of black men online always saying, I ain't being no stepfather, F them kids and that. This so-called community does not love black children. I've been saying that. I've been noticing that they don't get poured into with love. I've never seen a black man buy black children ice cream. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. I'm just saying, okay? And again, if this doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you, but what he said, unfortunately, there are a number who feel that way. They don't find value in you. They pump and dump you. And then you have their kids and they're on the internet calling you a whore, a 304. You ruin the community. You keep your legs closed. Then get mad if you don't want to give them none and say, well, other races of women open them legs quickly and all this other stuff. It's just a lot of hypocrisy, flip-flopping and driving y'all insane. Okay, so I want to know, what do you think about what Cam Newton had to say? What do you think about him saying that a woman's value decreases with the more children that she has? Can you imagine your husband, if you're married, saying this to you after let's say I have 5 kids for him and he says I have no value as much because I had his kids? Are you serious? How hurtful and insulting that is to say to a woman. How insulting. So I want to know, what do you think? Okay. Now, again, I see some of what he's saying, but the way he said it, what he's saying is just trifling at the end of the day. Okay. Because he refused to marry any of those women and they're back on the dating market if they want to find love. And he's saying, well, you had my kids. Good luck to you because you ain't going to do better than me. And we don't really want to deal with you now that y'all now have, because basically I ruined your life. I ruined your value. And good luck to you. Good luck to you. And then the woman saying, well, yeah, most women don't do better than their baby fathers. It's like, that's actually not true at all. A lot of black women should have never had kids with men who they had kids by. A lot of them, the men they had kids with should have never been allowed to impregnate them. A number of them. Okay, so she's saying, she's implying that that's the best that you could do. The first man that you allowed to get you pregnant. In some cases, that's true, but when you have an abundance of no good men to choose from in your community, what do you think is going to be? A number of them. And I thought of Sierra. I mean, Sierra Future was a terrible choice to have a child with. I never understood why she was being bothered with him when she was with him, but that was her choice. And she ended up with Russell, who treats her completely different, and they have children and she's happy. Okay, does that happen for all women? No, not all the time. But what I'm getting from this is, baby, y'all need to be a lot more picky and selective and keeping that pocketbook away from some of these dudes. Do not have their children. A number of you do not have a number of their children. It's a shame to see that Cam Newton is still a Pookie. You're a well-off Pookie, a Pookie and Ray Ray. You have that mentality. And from what I hear, he actually came from a 2-parent household, from what I heard. And that goes to show you they don't always still turn out as good men. He had that image again on the top left, all American, good guy, and all that other stuff. But when you hear him speak, he's just as trifling as a number of some of the other men. So that is all I have to say. I want to know, what do you think about what he says? Do you agree with him? And why or why not? And how do you feel women should operate when you have some men speaking like this? Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell and click all notifications so you know when I'm live. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.